Hello, boys and girls. Today I'm going to share with you my next book sharing. I've talked about why I think comics are perfect for learning English. Well, now I want to talk about my favorite comic. I talked a little bit about it in my last book sharing, but here I want to show you a lot more about it and tell you why I think you should read it. I will also share some of my favorite stories and examples from the comic. The story is about a boy called Calvin. Calvin is a strange little boy and he lives in America. His best friend is a tiger called Hobbes. Well, is he a tiger or a toy or both? They do everything together. Most of the time, they're happy. Sometimes they're sad. Sometimes they fight for fun. And sometimes they fight in anger. But they are always friends. There are many characters in the story, and I will tell you something about them. First character is his mum. Then there's his dad. And then there's the girl who lives next door. Her name is Susie. She thinks Calvin is weird. At school, well, there's Mo. Mo is the school bully. Calvin hates him, and Mo likes to bully Calvin. There are many other characters in the story, but you can meet them for yourself when you read the books. What makes Calvin and Hobbes so good, other than the beautiful drawings, are the stories. They are full of imagination and they're funny and serious, clever, sad, and strange. All the characters are interesting and full of life. I'd like to share some of the stories with you to show you what I mean. I said to you that Calvin is a strange little boy. So here's one of the stories that makes me laugh. And poor Calvin's mother, she always has problems with Calvin. Calvin does not think about what he's doing, he just does it. So in this story, when his mother screams, Calvin, what are you doing to the coffee table? Calvin thinks that it's easy to see what he's doing and doesn't understand the question. His mother's question can mean two things. Can you see what those two things are? Calvin replies, is this some sort of trick question or what? Calvin hates school and his teacher, Miss Wormwood, but his imagination gives him freedom. Well, some of the time. He's always imagining new and interesting things. Calvin has two enemies. Well, actually, he has many enemies, but he has two main enemies. One of Calvin's biggest enemies at school is a big kid called Mo. They don't like each other, but Mo is really big and strong. So Mo says to him, I'm going to pound you at recess, Twinkie, which is not a nice name. You better be nice to me, Mo. Huh, why? Because someday my tax dollars will be paying for your prison cell. Pow! My whole problem is my lips move when I think, says Calvin. Calvin's other enemy is Susie, who lives next door. Calvin is always trying to trick or annoy Susie, but she is a clever girl. Can you see what Calvin was going to do to her? There's Susie putting on her raincoat and an umbrella, and it's a beautiful day. But Calvin has a whole bunch of water balloons he's going to throw at her. And he says, "You think you're so darn smart?" Susie can always tell when Calvin is going to try and trick her. And Susie can get even with Calvin very easily because Calvin needs her help in school. She doesn't always help him. Sometimes she tricks him. Psst, what's 7 plus 6? 300 billion gazillion. Oh, thanks for the big help. That's a 3 followed by 85 zeros. Oh, I knew that. Calvin's dad is very funny. Sometimes he gets angry with Calvin, but sometimes he likes to drive Calvin crazy. When Calvin asks him a question, he gives Calvin totally wrong, silly answers just to make fun of Calvin. Here are some examples. Dad, what causes wind? Trees sneezing. Really? Nope, but the truth is more complicated. The trees are really sneezing today. When are we going to get a Christmas tree? Oh, I don't know. Probably a little after New Year. After New Year? Sure. We can just go up on the street and pick the best trees from the neighbors' driveways. What? Well, sometimes there's still tinsel on the trees too, so you don't even have to decorate it. We'll save time and money. Okay, what did your dad tell you this time? How did he know the load limit on bridges, Dad? Load limit 10 tons. They drive bigger and bigger trucks over the bridge until it breaks. Then they weigh the last truck and rebuild the bridge. Oh, I should have guessed. Dear, if you don't know the answer, just tell him. Calvin and Hobbes is easy to read, and there are lots of jokes. Some you'll understand immediately, and some you will need some time to understand. But Calvin and Hobbes is always fun, easy to read, and a great way to improve your English. Enjoy.